Please listen carefully.
Hi there, my name is Richard Terry from Bang Olufsen Shrewsbury, and I'd like to help you get the absolute most from your TV and surround sound system. Now the first thing may seem obvious, you've got to make sure the TV's in the right place. Now in terms of where that is, if you think about your living room, most of the time you spend in your living room you will be watching the TV, so it makes absolute sense for that TV to be the focal point of the room and not tucked away in the corner. This is critically important then if you want to add surround sound. Now there are various options in terms of what you can do. You can have the TV on a manually movable stand, or we have automated stands. You can place the TV manually in the room and point it to where you sit, or there are options where some TVs have automated motorised stands to actually move around to different parts of the room. But as I mentioned, this is critical when you then add surround sound speakers, because the clue with surround sound speakers is in the name. The speakers should surround where you sit. So if the TV's stuck in the corner and all your speakers are off to one side, it's going to sound a bit skewed. So ideally you want to get the TV straight in front of where you sit, if possible on a flat wall, either on a floor stand or a wall bracket, and then have the speakers positioned in the corners, both in front of you and behind you. This then replicates how you find it in a cinema, where the screen's in front, the sound is all around, and you get the most accurate representation of what you're watching and what you're listening to. Now in terms of size of TV per room, a lot of people question how big a TV do I need. There's really a gauge of screen size to viewing distance, and this equates to, on a high definition screen, 6 times the height of the screen. So on a 40-inch screen that is 3 meters away. When you move up something like ultra high definition or 4K, that distance drops to 3 times the height of the screen. So something like a 40-inch screen, you're 1.5 meters away. It's very, very close. But also there's the comfort aspect to consider, how big the screen is, how big you want the TV to appear, and critically, how imposing on the room the TV might appear. Okay, so we've mentioned a bit about having the speakers around you. The next question is how big and how many. Do you need a subwoofer? These are all things that are specific to the sort of films, the sort of content that you watch. So if you watch a lot of music, there's definitely a benefit having a subwoofer to get those low tones in, and that works for popular and classical music. For movies, again, if you're watching action films, the more sound you can have, the better, but it doesn't actually need to be loud. If you have a subwoofer, it works just as well at quiet volume to give you more of a full effect than it does at loud volume. There's also a solution or a suggestion that you don't necessarily need the same size of speakers all the way around. Most of what you listen to will come from ahead of you, so bigger speakers at the front, and then you can get away with smaller speakers at the rear. And we're just getting into the stage now where we have a viable hi-fi quality wireless speaker solution for surround sound with wireless transmission built into the TV, so it now becomes very, very simple to position the TV in the room, position the speakers where you want them, there's no wires in between, and you're good to go. So that's hopefully given you the basics on how to get the most out of your home entertainment. We in store offer a full consultancy service where we can advise you, we can come out to site, have a look at the room, talk to you about how you use your house, how to get the most from it. Thanks for listening.